Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. I'm Robin Shaw, and I hope I hope we get a. I hope not so many people come late this time. Usually, over half the class comes late, but there are early students here today, or on-time students too. Let's take a look. I'm just looking at the chat. Layla's here. Anna, hello, guys. Anna, Anna, I guess Anna's here for long term. We've been talking a lot more, so good for you, Anna. Sticking around. I feel like I'm getting closer to you all the time. Zai Grace, hello. Lolly Lolly, welcome back. Sarah, Tahirian, hello. And Samira, welcome, Samira. Wayne, hello. Carrie's here. Sleepwalker. And Alex. Alex. Yeah, so there's a lot of women today. Where's the men? If you're a man, please tell me. Yeah, so it's been an exciting week because of my other channel, the Shaw English channel down here. As most of you know, I got two channels. I'm pointing down here. So the Shaw English channel, I think in December it passed 1 million subs. Nobody noticed, but I did get the award last week, and I'll just show you the award. If you saw it on the, I showed it on Instagram, but I'll show it again. This was the award for 100,000 subs. So I got this in 2017 on the Shaw English, and then 100,000 subs. So that was a few years ago. And then this week, this big thing came, this gold button for 1 million subs, Shaw English on YouTube. So thank you if you are subscribed to that channel and this channel. I hope one day, I don't think I'll get the gold button for this channel, but I hope one day I can get the silver button for this channel. Anyways, thank you guys. Let's see. We're gonna do writing today, so I'm gonna start that in a minute or two. We're just collecting the students, but I'll start the writing. Francis Delita's here. Magna, hello, Magna. Maudie, hey. And yeah, I'm the man of the day. I'm the man of every day. Miyint Kin, hello. And yeah, it's gold. Yeah, 1 silver, 1 gold. And Maudie, can you give me the golden one? Well, after this live stream, I might just put it. I keep my silver in the closet, so I might keep the gold in the closet too. Or maybe I should hang it on this board. I'm more proud of my university education and my degrees than the YouTube award. But anyway, thanks for any congratulations, guys. Now we're going to talk about writing today. This is writing lab 13. So it's not a Q&A. I'm not going to answer any English questions unless it's related to the writing we're going to talk about. And the writing I'm going to take from my writing groups. Now, as you know, I have WhatsApp group, many WhatsApp groups, and I have the VIP member teacher chat daily free chat. Anyway, what the group I'm interested in today is the daily homework group. So this is a group where students put in their daily homework, writing or speaking every day. Do I check it every day? I don't check every day, but I do check it all and give feedback to help people. So I'm going to take the writing out of this group, and you guys can join the group if you check the description of this video. It's not a free group, but I'm going to take, we'll start off with Layla. I can see Mirzan joined. Welcome, Mirzan. We're going to start here. Layla gave me permission to put her writing on the on this live stream, so we'll put it here, and we'll go through the writing, find out her mistakes, things like that. All right, so let's take a look at Layla's writing here. The mystery of Malaysian Flight 370 still continues. All right, so you're talking about the missing flight, and that was 370. Yeah. Right here, I think it's a specific name. So Malaysian Flight 370, it would be the name. So I'd put a capital there. Let's see if we can just put my changes in blue. The mystery of Malaysian Flight 370 still continues. It left Kuala Lumpur and was headed towards Beijing. All right. So that was, when was that? 2014, I think that happened. So far so good. Your writing is okay. Where is the jet? All right, jet, airplane. Where are the passengers? Two good questions. Malaysian government considered what happened was a terrorist act. All right, so this right here, something wrong. Something wrong with this part right here. Let's see if we can get a red. What's wrong with this sentence? How can we make this sentence right here better? There, that's what I want to do. Malaysian government considered what happened was a terrorist attack. So what mistake can you see in this sentence here? Layla asks, how many writings are you going to check? I don't know. And Madi says, you need to cut your hair. You look like a Scandinavian old person. So what's wrong with old Scandinavian people? Don't they look awesome? Yeah, Flight 370. So what's wrong with this sentence right here? Malaysian government considered what happened was a terrorist attack. All right, so she's instead of past tense, I wasn't too concerned about the past tense, but yeah, it would be better to make it the present tense. They still consider. So Malaysian government considers what happened, and I'm probably going to fix this as a terrorist act. All right, there's still one mistake with this sentence right here. What's wrong with this sentence? Gertrudis and Michelle, hello. Marty says nothing wrong, just the past. The past tense you could use past or present. It's not too. I'm not going to be too picky about that, but I am picky about there is a missing word in this sentence. That's the clue. There's a missing word, a very important word. And Sleepwalker has it. Right before Malaysian, we need to put the Malaysian government. All right, we have to identify this noun. So we should start off with the Malaysian government considers what happened as a terrorist act. Okay, now it's okay. So let's put in that as a blue. All right, next sentence here. Possibly lead the pilot was beyond this mystery, but for what purpose? All right, let's separate this sentence. Make it... Now, there's a lot of mistakes here. There's a lot... Sorry, Layla. There's a few mistakes. I'm always happy when students write, and I'm always happy when students don't have perfect writing. I love mistakes. That's how we learn. That's how others learn. So don't be upset. But there's a few issues here. Why we use present tense? Because they still consider. They consider it right now. You could use past tense, that they considered it at a point at the past. And you could use present tense, that they still consider it. But I said I'm not going to be picky about that right now. So the biggest mistake here was probably the. Possibly lead the pilot was beyond this mystery, but for what purpose? Yeah, Alex, the Malaysian. Possibly lead the pilot. Well, actually, I'm putting this all in red. Maybe I should just focus on the parts. There. These are all the parts I have problems with. All right, well, Lolly Lolly comes in with behind, yeah. So we want to say behind this as, not beyond this. What was behind this? So we use the expression, what is behind the mystery? What is the reason for the mystery? So we say behind. And Alex, the leading pilot, lead of the pilot. No, Layla. So yeah, I think these two words, we can switch them. So possibly the lead pilot the lead pilot was behind this mystery, but for what purpose? All right, and you can see what's wrong here. There's a little bit of delay. And Anna, yeah. It's a question mark. For what purpose? For what purpose? Why? That means a why, so we definitely need a question mark here. For what purpose? Why? Is pilot the same as plot? No, those are different words. They're not connected. Pilot and plot are different. And we don't need this past tense, Samira. Just for what purpose? For what purpose? We need that question. But for what purpose? It's a question. You're asking why. This was just speculation. That's okay. The victims' families wanted to know. Let's separate that. The victims' families wanted to know what happened and how the investigation was going. Now, this is okay. All thoughts and prayers went out to the victims. That's okay. This was a big tragedy. Big tragedy. I think big tragedy. Just checking because. Big tragedy. I want to use a different word here. Big's okay. Big's okay. There's nothing wrong. But we might want to, this might be a good place to use huge tragedy. So let's try using the word huge. Another synonym might be great. This was a great tragedy. And this great is not in a positive way. It just means very, very. But we're going to go back to huge. Just means very big tragedy. So I like that. All right, so that was Layla's writing. Not too many mistakes. Layla usually does a great job with her writing, and usually she doesn't have this many mistakes. So I'm very happy. So I'll just quickly review the mystery of Malaysian Flight 370. I thought this should be all capital. Still continues. It left Kuala Lumpur and was headed towards Beijing. Where is the jet? Where are the passengers? The Malaysian government considers what happened as a terrorist act. Possibly the lead pilot was behind this mystery, but for what purpose? This was just speculation. All right, there's a very good word, speculation. And what does speculation mean? You're just guessing. You don't know the facts. You don't know the truth. It's just speculation. So the lead pilot was behind this mystery. We don't know. Maybe the lead pilot, there's no evidence. So this is just speculation, guessing. The victims' families wanted to know what happened and how the investigation was going. All thoughts and prayers went out to the victims. This was, and I changed it from big to huge. This was a huge tragedy, or a great tragedy. All right, good for you. Good for you, Layla. Shocking tragedy, yes. Shocking tragedy, terrible tragedy. I just don't like students using big or small as adjectives. Now, these are the easy English words, big or small. But I like students to try and go to a higher level of vocabulary instead of it was a big room. It was a big TV. Try to use something. It was a extremely large room or something like that. Okay, we're going to go on to someone else's writing. We'll probably do Carrie's. She's watching. I'm going back to the homework group here. Where's Carrie? Carrie. There. She has a long one here. I'm going to copy that. Delete all this. Hope you're watching, Layla. Put in Carrie's there. Carrie's writing. She's writing about her Corona experience. All right. So what does Carrie say here? Let's make this big screen. It's been 2 weeks since my parents caught COVID-19 and I started to be in self-quarantine. Okay. Just make sure. Yeah. It's been 2 weeks since my parents caught COVID-19 and I started to be in self-quarantine. And this to be in, I don't really like it here. I started to be in, I think we can just cut that right out. And she can say, it's been 2 weeks since my parents. Oh, make sure you guys watch this. Now, this is a contraction for it has, not it is. It has. And usually in writing, if you're doing formal writing, you should never write any contractions in an essay. And if this was a diary, it's fine. But let's pretend it's a little more formal writing. You shouldn't write a contraction for it has. I know in speaking, native speakers always use this contraction. That's okay, but let's write it out here, which would make better for writing a little formal writing. So it has been 2 weeks since my parents caught COVID-19 and I started self-quarantine. All right, so I have to get the second COVID-19 test tomorrow morning. So I have a problem with this I have to get the second COVID-19 test tomorrow morning. So she's identifying it as something special. Our COVID test specials, like the first test is special, but the second test is special. There's a sense here that each, I know you guys are thinking, oh, every COVID test is special, but the sense here is that there's a process of getting COVID tests and there's a detailed plan of getting COVID tests. And I don't think that's true, so we shouldn't really use the. And I'm just going to change this to my. It's just talking about her experience, not everyone's experience. So the focus is going to be on the my, not everyone else. Not everyone might get that second COVID test. I don't know. So I have to get my second COVID-19 test tomorrow morning. Okay. I felt frightened that I may get a positive result because if that will happen, I have to be locked in the treatment center at least for 10 days and that would drive me insane. All right. So we're going to separate this sentence right here. And what I find with Carrie's writing, Carrie is very developed in her speaking. So she can speak English very well, and she writes a lot how people speak English. But a lot of you know speaking English and writing English are a little bit different. So, for example, going back to the contraction of it has, of course, native speakers will always say it's, but for writing, we cannot say it's. So looking at this paragraph, she is writing exactly how native speakers speak. And I would say for formal writing, can't do that. We got to make it a little more structured. All right. Anyway, right away, looking at this paragraph, immediately, what's wrong with this paragraph? I'm going to take a quick break, drink the tea, see what's wrong with this paragraph. Lopez, watching you from Haiti. You guys are starting to focus on the grammar of the paragraph before you even read it. What is wrong? I don't even have to read it, and I see a big mistake. Well, there's a little delay. I'll help you guys out here. The tense is not the problem. The problem is the sentence is too long. All right. This sentence is too long. Before I read the sentence, I can see, oh, we got too much happening. So what's happening here? There's a comma because. There's a comma here. There's an and. All right, so she's trying to write a very complex sentence, and good for her. But I wouldn't try to add so much information in one sentence. The more information you're adding, the bigger the possibility the reader is confused, the bigger the possibility your grammar has some problems. So I might split this up. Let's see. Now you guys are focused on the I've felt frightened. All right, this is okay. I have felt frightened. So up until now, she has felt frightened that I may get a positive result, because if that I felt frightened that I may get a positive result, because if that, I'm going to take out this will, and we're going to say happens. Let's put this back to black. We don't need a comma. We don't need this comma. Well, we can put this comma here as a pause. I felt, it's complicated, so, it's got to be very careful, even when I'm editing, because so much information. Good for her to put all this information, but we shouldn't have such big sentences in English. I felt frightened that I may get a positive result, because if that happens, all right? So I'm going to change this just because if that happens. If that happens, we're talking about the future. I have to be locked in the treatment center at least for 10 days. And I'm going to move this at least for 10 days here, for at least 10 days. So I did a little change there. All right, let's see what the... How much information should we insert in a sentence? Well, you shouldn't have so many commas, a because, and an and. Every sentence is different, but I would say Don't only use one conjunction. She's using two here. And I would say, as a rule, just use because or and or but one time. Of course, there are exceptions. You can break that rule, but to be safe, don't use two conjunctions like this. All right. So I have to be locked in the treatment center for at least 10 days. And I'm going to put the period there. I think that is enough information for our writing. Of course, if we're speaking, and as I said, Carrie likes to write as she speaks. When someone's speaking, when people are speaking, of course, they give a lot of information. They would say exactly what she wrote here for speaking. But for writing, we got to get less. And right here, I would put that would drive me insane. I'll put the new sentence. And for emphasis, let's put an exclamation. That would drive me insane. Insane. All right. I would literally do anything to get a negative result on the second COVID test. And to be free on this Sunday. All right, so let's go down here. Okay, again, she's writing as she would speak. So literally, this is going to be a problem for. That's ugly. This is a problem. This is often used for speaking. Native speakers always use the word literally, which means I would seriously or sincerely or certainly do anything. So that's a spoken expression, but for writing, nope. You can't use that in writing, especially formal writing. Well, your diary, again, guys, in your diary, self-diary, you can write anything you want, but I'm trying to teach a little more formal here. We shouldn't use the word literally. That's more of a spoken term. So I would do anything to get a negative result on, let's again change that to my second COVID test and to be free this Sunday. Well, I'm going to break this up here. Again, this is okay. I would do anything to get a negative result on my second COVID test and to be free on this Sunday. But it's kind of two separate pieces of information. I would do anything to get a negative result, and I want to be free on Sunday. So I'm going to split that. So I would do anything to get or actually, to keep it together, I'm going to use a conjunction here. I would do anything to get a negative result on my second COVID test, and I'm going to put a because. I think that's a good word to put there. Because I want to be, let's add I want to be free on this Sunday. All right, what's wrong here, guys? I'm going to take a break. You guys tell me what's wrong with this section right here on this Sunday. And I'm checking drive me crazy. That would drive me insane. Yeah, we could also say drive me crazy. That works. But I think insane is stronger than crazy. So she wanted to say insane. I notice in formal writing, they start the sentence with but. So when we, very rare you want to start a sentence with but in formal writing. And Layla, I might do that in the future, but not today. Don't worry about that, Layla. And Anna, how to use literally? Well, okay, so if I said, I don't use this expression. I'm I'm literally insane. Literally is used to mean 100% or certainly. It's an emphasis word to emphasize that I'm really, really insane. I'm literally insane. You might hear native speakers speak like that. I don't use that expression, and I don't really teach that expression, so that's all I'm going to say about that. But you should know it. All right, sleepwalker. Going back to my question. So something wrong here. I want to be free on this Sunday. Now, actually, Sunday is okay. So the focus here is on this Sunday, and we can say on Sunday, or we can say this Sunday. All right, so she can't use on this. She has to choose which one, on Sunday or this Sunday. Can't use both. So because I want to be free on Sunday, or I want to be free this Sunday. Yeah. It's a choice. This one or this one. Not on this, okay? For the last 2 weeks being stuck in my house, I couldn't focus on the things I should do, and I just want to get my normal days back. All right, so again, looking a little long. For the last 2 weeks, I'm going to put a comma here. We have a time expression, and depending on the teacher, some teachers like the commas, some teachers don't like the commas or don't care. I prefer, if you have a time expression here, comma. For the last 2 weeks, tomorrow, yesterday, always today, put a comma. Put a comma for your time expression. Being stuck in my house. All right, comma, comma. I couldn't focus on the things I should do, and I just want to get my norm. Again, a lot of information. The sentence is okay. Like grammatically, it makes sense, but it just seems like a lot of information in each one of her sentences. And I would just put that there. For the last 2 weeks, being stuck in my house, I couldn't focus on the things I should do. I just want to get my normal days back. More normal days. I would change this to normal life. I want to get my normal life back instead of days. I know what she means, my normal days back, but I think a native speaker might just say my normal life back. All right. I want to walk outside, inhaling the fresh air, go to the dentist. Let's move it down. I want to walk outside, inhaling the fresh air, go to the dentist to be treated for my tooth and gum damage, and have a normal social life. Okay. Long sentence, but I think we can make this one work. Say grace. By Sunday. I want to be free by Sunday. That could work. By Sunday. But again, be careful. You can say on Sunday, this Sunday, by Sunday. That can work. So good comment, Zay Grace. Natural life. I would just want to get back to my natural life. Yeah, that could work. My natural. But I think normal life is what a native speaker would use. But if you said natural life, or she said normal days, that's okay. I'm just trying to choose things I think are more what native speakers would say. All right. Now she has inhaling. Is there a better word? Yeah, inhaling means, well, inhaling is okay. She can say inhaling the fresh air, but as Lolly Lolly points out, probably a better word would be just breathing. That would be a better choice. Now, inhaling can work, but let's fix it a little bit better. 1% better. Breathing the fresh air. So I want to walk outside breathing the fresh air, go to the dentist to be treated for my tooth and gum damage, and have a normal social life. All right, she's got a list here. So breathing the fresh air, 1, go to the dentist to be treated for my tooth and gum damage, 2, and have a normal 3. She's got a good list. She's got a comma. She's got a comma. All right. And she's got a comma before her and. I like that. And have a normal social life. So actually, it's a pretty good sentence. She's got a lot of information, but she has the right grammar, especially this middle one here, where she wants to go to the dentist to be treated for my tooth and gum damage because she had an accident with her teeth a few days ago or a few weeks ago. So this is a pretty good insert of a lot of information. So this is a pretty good paragraph. Enjoying the fresh air. I want to walk outside. Yeah, enjoying. Well, her word was inhaling. That can work. That was not. All those can work. Enjoying the fresh air. Get fresh air. I want to walk outside to get fresh air, but we don't want to use get because we want more of that continuous ing. I want to be breathing, inhaling, enjoying, ongoing action. She uses normal life again, which is correct in the last one. Yeah, she used normal days up here, normal life down here. So, be good point, Madi. Now she says normal social life. So she says up here, I just want to get my normal life back. I want to walk outside breathing for the fresh air, go to the dentist, blah, blah, and have a normal social life. I might even say just delete this because it's kind of redundant. She repeats herself. I want normal life. Normal life. She uses back, which is a good expression. So because she said it twice, I'm going to remove one of them. So good point, Maudie. All right, even though I'm an extreme introvert, remember introverts, they like to stay alone and not go out too much. So she uses even though. I'm an extreme introvert and always enjoy indoor activities, but still being locked away in my house against my will for over 2 weeks is definitely not a pleasant experience for anyone. All right. So right away, looks pretty big again. And we might keep it. Let's see. Even though I'm an extreme, all right, she wants to emphasize. Good word here, extreme, guys. In your writing, again, try to stay away from very or really. Extreme is a really good word to use for emphasis. She's an extreme. I'm an extreme introvert. She really, really. Remember, opposite is extrovert, someone who likes to go out and socialize. She's the introvert, someone who likes to stay home, not do anything, not be people. So even though She's an extreme introvert. She enjoys staying home, but this lockdown, even though I'm an extreme introvert and always enjoy indoor activities, I'd put a comma here. So even though I'm an extreme introvert and I always enjoy indoor activities, I'm going to cut out but still. We don't need that. Even though I'm an extreme introvert and always enjoy indoor activities, being locked away in my house against my will. Wow, a lot of information. Even though I'm an extreme introvert and always enjoy indoor activities, being locked away in my house against my will for over 2 weeks is definitely not a pleasant experience for anyone. All right. Now you guys will see that I put in these commas here. Or I didn't put them all in. She had some, but let's highlight these commas. This is a very good lesson. So you guys should definitely be watching what I'm going to talk about now. I'm just checking the chat, see what you guys are talking about. Lopez, I'm sorry, I don't understand what is going on. Lopez, it's a writing lab. I'm just fixing up students' writing. Samira, we can't use even though, although, but in one sentence. Although, even though, although, this similar to but. She could say, I'm an extrovert, but she started even though. Lolly, extreme, that writing. All right, Avrana. To be honest, it's like reading someone else's journal. Layla, to avoid using very big. Okay. Madi, we can use ultimate to emphasize. We can use ultimate, but it's not this. Ultimate is not the same as extreme. Ultimate is very big. It was the ultimate experience. So it was a really great experience, a high level experience. So yeah, ultimate can be used for emphasis, but not here. I'm an ultimate introvert, doesn't work. Lopez, I just got here. Well, Munaim, hello. And is even if correct in the sentence? No. Even if. So if means she's not, but if she was. It doesn't work here because, so even if I'm an extreme introvert, that means she's not an extreme introvert. So even though I'm an extreme introvert, she is definitely an extreme introvert and I always enjoy. All right. All right, going back to the lesson here. These commas. Now, if you guys know, great. But if you don't know, this is very important to English. Why are all these commas here? Now, comma, 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 comma. Now, when you have two commas, you're adding information here. So I'm going to highlight this. And let's put it yellow. Because this is, her writing is advanced. This is advanced writing. She did miss a few commas. Now, notice the information in the commas here comma, information, comma, down here, comma, information, comma. This is extra information. This is extra information, and we can remove this extra information. So I'm going to remove it. Boom. And the second one here, boom. And if we remove that extra information, the paragraph still makes sense. Even though I'm an extreme introvert, being locked away in my house is definitely not a pleasant experience for anyone. All right, that's the core. That's her sentence. It works. So if you're going to add little bits of information, you need these commas. I know you guys, some of you, I know that, but some of you are like, I don't understand, Robin. Okay, I'll say it again. This is additional information. Even though I'm an extreme introvert and always enjoy indoor activities. So she's adding more information, comma, comma. Being locked away in my house against my will for over 2 weeks, she's adding extra information, is definitely not a pleasant experience for anyone. So again, that extra information can be removed, and we are left with the core sentence. Even though I'm an extreme introvert, being locked away in my house is definitely not a pleasant experience for anyone. So it's very important that when you're adding extra information, put in these commas. All right, so that's a little bit advanced for you guys. If you don't understand, don't worry. You don't need to. Just Carrie's a little advanced. All right, let's finish up Carrie's. The feeling of isolation and a state of distress. You cannot even go to the dentist and go. Oh, she's got a lot of information here too. All right, the feeling of isolation. Good word. Let's make it pink. The feeling of isolation and a state of distress that you cannot even go to the dentist and go to a job interview will make you insane. The feeling of isolation and a state of distress, I think we don't need that. The feeling of isolation and distress, and I'm gonna use distress up here, just to make the sentence more concise. The distressing feeling of isolation that doesn't really work. It's so much information. The feeling of isolation. Here, we're going to take out distress. This is the problem. I'm going to put that down here. We're not going to throw it away. The feeling of isolation. The feeling of isolation, you cannot even go to the dentist and go to a job interview. This can be solved with or. The feeling of isolation that you cannot even go to the dentist or a job interview will make you as insane. Is distressing. There's other ways to fix this paragraph. This is one possible way. Because she said insane earlier. Let's focus more on the distressing so we're not repeating. The feeling of isolation that you cannot even go to the dentist or a job interview is distressing. And let's put our word of today, extremely distressing. And let's put So I think this will capture her emotion of insane. Insane is just a general. It drives me crazy. Okay, but let's get a little more specific. So I think she feels it's extremely frustrating and distressing. So this would be a good ending to this paragraph. All right, that was Carrie's. Good job, Carrie. And let's see who's here. A for Anna. Is it okay if I use your writing? A for Anna. Or if Robin, you add more words in this sentence. So what do you mean? What did I put? The feeling of isolation, extremely frustrating. So the feeling of isolation is frustrating. It's ongoing during the isolation. She used feeling, so I'm going to use frustrating and distressing. Instead of I feel frustrated and distressed. We could use that other grammar. There's other grammar ways to express this sentence. Why you change her emotions? Well, she's not here right now, but if she was here, I would probably ask the student, what kind of feelings did you have instead of just insane? Because insane is not really a feeling. And then when the student says, I feel sad or depressed, and then I would put that in here, depressing or whatever, because study English. You can check the description to join the WhatsApp group. Dwee, hello. So I guess we'll do A for Anna's. Let's take a look at A for Anna. Let's see. I'm looking in the homework group. I already checked a lot of these. Does Anna have any writing? Oh, here. I'll do your this one. A for Anna. All right, Carrie. Boom. So this is from Anna's. This is Anna's. If I were a fish, I would like to dive underwater, deep down under the sea, at a place where nobody hasn't discovered yet. All right. All right. If I were a fish, I would like to dive underwater. Now, I'm going to be picky here because fish are already underwater. So I might add deeper. If I were a fish, I would like to dive deeper underwater. Deep down under the sea. And I would combine these two sentences. All right. If I were a fish, I'd like to dive deeper down under the sea. I think the two sentences can be combined. We're just doing writing lab. I'm just fixing a few students' lab. Few students writing. At a place where nobody hasn't discovered yet. At a place where nobody's. At a place where nobody. Okay, you got a double negative. So this doesn't work. A place where nobody has discovered yet. So I'm going to cut that right there because nobody is a negative and hasn't is a negative. That's called a double negative. We don't want that at a place where nobody has discovered yet. However, it might be frightened me a bit, to be honest. Okay. However, it might be frightened me a bit, to be honest. And you guys, well, how can you fix this sentence? Right here. Right here's the problem. I'm going to drink my tea. You guys tell me what's wrong. How can we fix that grammar? However, it might be frightening me a bit. Hello, Alyssa. Double negatives. Lopez, St. Val, a little instead of bit. Well, yeah, you can say a bit or a little. That's not a problem. You can use both. It might be, however, it might frighten me a little. It might frighten me a bit. That means the same thing. A bit or a little. Okay. Layla, is it considered a big mistake if we use double negatives? In your writing, yes. In speaking, native speakers are always going to use double negatives sometimes, but for your writing, no, we shouldn't use double negatives. Lolly, being honest, it can be frightened. However, it might be frightened, to be honest. Must be frightening. Okay, yeah, you guys are focusing. That is another problem here. Sorry, Anna. Don't cry. It's a little awkward to use however and to be honest in the same sentence. It can be in the same sentence, but it's a little awkward. And actually, native speaker, usually we begin the sentence to be honest. That can be used at the end, but it's more, I think, my opinion at least, it's more of a beginning phrase of a sentence. So I'm going to change that. I took out the however. I deleted that. I just put the to be honest, which kind of means however. They kind of mean the same thing. Let's cut out that. So to be honest, it might be frightening me a bit. It might. And A Fran, oh, you A Fran fixed it. Okay. To be honest, it might frighten me a bit. All right. That's what you said. It might frighten me a bit to go to that place. I read that the deep sea creatures are scarier than normal sea creatures. So let's take a look. I read that the deep sea creatures. You can use this but I think it works better without it. I read that deep sea creatures, all deep sea creatures in the world, are scarier than normal. No, maybe we'll put it in. I read that the deep sea creatures are scarier than the. Well, if you put the and the, you got to put two. But I think we can get away with just saying, I've read that deep sea creatures are scarier than normal sea creatures, as general. Okay. A lot of questions keep bugging in my head. All right, and she knows because I told her there's a problem with this word. We shouldn't use word on if you're in the writing group, you might have saw how I fixed this. We can't use bugging in my head. And I wasn't sure what she meant, but we can't use bugging. So this word is wrong. What's another word we can use here? Not bugging. What do you use one of you? A lot of questions keep bothering in my head. Questions keep asking in my head. Well, Anna, it's your chance. Do you have another? You know the word I suggested in the homework group, but do you have a word that? Do you have another word that you might use there, Anna? Because I didn't know what you wanted to express, so I suggested a word, but I don't know if the word's correct. So I recommended the word popping. Popping in my head. So let's connect it with popping in. So when something pops in your head, it suddenly is in your head, in your brain, in your mind. So a lot of questions keep popping in my head. So we use this expression, popping in my head, especially with questions. Where's another use? Popping in my head. I think that's mainly where we use it, popping in my head. I don't know another situation we would use popping in my. I could say a lot of students are popping in my chat. So here we have popping in. I'm talking about the live stream chat. So a lot of students are popping in, coming in, boop, pop, pop, popping like popcorn, pop, 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 popping in. All right. A lot of questions are still in my head. Yeah, that could work. But I don't think the questions are bothering her. Are running through in my head. Are running through. A lot of questions keep running through my head. I think running through my brain. So interesting, lolly. Running through my head. Yeah, I guess that could work. A lot of questions keep running through my head. Yeah, so lolly has a good expression here. Running through my head. That could work too. Popping, but I like popping because popping. Anyway, let's move on. So let's look at the questions. How do they survive? Okay. With a low light intensity, it is almost ridiculous to be alive. And yeah, I had a big problem with ridiculous. To be alive in that condition because of the low oxygen supply. All right. So definitely ridiculous means something is very funny. Or stupid. That's ridiculous. That's funny and stupid. Ridiculous. So this word doesn't match. So maybe you guys can suggest a better word. So how do they survive with a low light intensity? So there's not much light in the deep sea. It is almost to be alive in that condition because of the low oxygen supply. Incomprehensible. That's a word. That's a big word. It's almost surprising to be and sleepwalker, unsustainable. You guys have a lot of you guys have bigger words than me. Anyway, you guys have good vocabulary, but I went with the simplest word, which was impossible. Incomprehensible, that works, but that word is kind of too big. Unsustainable is all unsustainable. I think the best word that works here is simply just saying almost impossible to be alive. So sleepwalker, you and I are thinking alike. It's almost unbelievable to be alive. Oh, Gertrudis also has impossible. Unbelievable. It's almost unbelievable to be alive in that. Yeah, these words work, but I think just impossible is the best word here. Also, how do they adapt with the higher pressure without being... Okay, so she put crashed. Something wrong here. This word. What word was she trying to say? She said, also, how do they adapt with the higher pressure without being crashed? So crashed is wrong. What is the correct word? Gertrudis, not able. Let's see. Is almost... not able is a little awkward. Again, I'm just going to stick with impossible. Also, how do they adapt with the higher pressure without being crashed? So crashed is a big mistake here. Not a big mistake. Damaged, harmed. Layla, Robin, sometimes I want to use big and advanced words, but you want to use simple words. What we should do? What should we do? What should we do? I think there's a basic vocabulary or set of words, and there's a middle level of words, and then there's a very advanced level of words. Depending on what you're writing, I would always shoot for that middle level. There's too advanced, and I've seen a lot of students try to put the biggest words they could possibly get in their essays, and it just looks wrong and awkward. So I would go for that middle area of vocabulary, not too low, not too high, and that would work well. You got to know all kinds of vocabulary, but like I said, up here with this one, impossible is the best word. You could use bigger words, but it would just make it just makes it 1% awkward. And just 1% awkward shows impossible is the great word, the best word. All right, let's see what's going on here. All right, so she put crashed, and I thought it was a spelling mistake. Crash is when you crash a car. Crash. And the word she wants to use, I'm changing that A to a U. Crushed. She's talking about high in the deep sea. There's high pressure. High pressure. So if there's high pressure pushing down, things are going to be crushed. So how do they adapt with the higher pressure without being crushed? So this is the best word. That's what the word she's looking for. You could say damaged, hurt. That works without bursting. That works without popping. that works. But I think the best word, again, I'm the judge. The best word is my word. Crushed. That expresses what she wants to say. All right, the deep sea is still mysterious and fascinating to discover. All right, so there's no problem here with her final sentence. Now, Anna, you're going to say, well, you didn't give such a detailed editing in the homework group. Yeah, in the homework group, I can't really talk to the students. So when I make changes for all of you, if you're in the homework group, when I make changes, I got to make basic changes that you can kind of learn yourself. So there's a lot of things like to be honest, I didn't really go into too much detail on this paragraph because it takes more of a face-to-face editing or explaining. But you got the most of it. All right. Thank you to the students. I did Layla, Carrie, and Anna. Thank you for allowing me to use your writing. If you didn't allow it, sorry, I used it. I'll do another writing lab in the future, and in the future, I will try to use other people like Jonathan or Michelle or someone else in the future writing lab, just to give everyone a chance. If you're not in the writing lab, or in the homework group, you can join in the description of this video, but it's not a free group, guys. Now you can join the group, and here's the group. Let's see if people joined. There's a Mirzan and there's another person. You joined, but you cannot participate in the group. You can watch the group, but you cannot submit any writing unless you officially join the group. And in the description of this video, it'll tell you how to join the group. All right, guys, that's an hour 17 minutes. Thank you, Lopez, for coming. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, Michelle, I'll try to do your writing next time I do a writing lab. And thank you, Anna, for coming. Hope you liked the video. Please like the video to let me know that you enjoyed it and you want to see more of this kind of video. And I hope we learned something today. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for supporting the channel. And it was good to see some new people today. Sleepwalker, thank you. Gertrudis, thank you. Layla, Sarah. Writing lab is always the best. The best for you. Other students, I don't know. All right. Goodbye, everyone. See you next week. Well, you can join the other teacher, Sherry's video live stream in a couple days. See you guys.